I'm on a walk right now. I always get the best thoughts on walks. Once I started 75 hard, I had to do a walk every day because I wasn't going to be in the gym twice a day. And man, that's really when I had my biggest breakthroughs. But what I was just thinking about is I have this thing called an infinite banking account, I guess you would say. Infinite banking concept, basically. Basically what it is, it's a whole life insurance policy that you pay more money than you need to, but in return, you're able to pull out more money than what you put in. So I'm thinking about the benefits of this. So basically, I pay $2,500 every single month. I only have to do 1,000, but I have the opportunity to do 2,500, so I do 2,500. But I immediately have access to 60% of that, like right away. So I pay $2,500 every single month. I have access to 60% of that. I can pull it right back out. Now, like, that's pretty cool in and of itself. But on top of that, what I can do is, let's see. On top of that, in 3 years, I can pull out 90% of what I'm paying in right now. So, yes, I'm paying $2,500 a month now, but in 3 years, I'm able to pay $2,500 a month and literally pull out 90%. What is that? That's like $2,250, 90% of it. So I'm literally paying $250 to have this whole life policy where if I died today, my family would get $3 million. If I die when I'm 80, my family gets $8 million. And it just kind of gradually grows up until then. There's going to be a point, I think it's about the, I don't know, man, 10-year mark, where it's either I put in $1 and I get $2, or I put in $1 and I get my full dollar or something like that. There's going to be a break even where I literally put $1 in and I get that dollar back. And when that happens, I literally have a $3 to $8 million life insurance policy that I was just mentioning for free. I have it for free. But then on top of that, the whole policy is growing at 5%. That may be the reason why I could put $1 in and get a dollar or get $2 out. I'm not sure on that. That probably is. But regardless, I'm able to have a life insurance policy where I pay $2,500 every single month and they give it directly back to me. What I can then do is it's making me save. So it's making me save $2,500 every single month. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that $2,500, I'm going to put it into the policy. I'm going to pull it back out because I can. And then I'm going to invest it because I'm forcing myself to invest it. And then what that $2,500 per month is going to do is, let's see, $2,500 times 12 months, that's $30K. That's forcing me to invest $30,000 every single month or every single year. A cool thing about that is the first year, so it's basically like I won't need that for a couple years. I'm good right now. Let's say Ryan comes in and fires me and says, hey, fuck you. I'm gonna struggle eventually, but the money that I have saved up right now, I'm not struggling for a couple years. Like I could literally live off of what I have right now for 3 years. So I'm making that sacrifice for the next 3 years because I know I'm covered for the next 3 years. So I'm making that sacrifice now. 3 years, that's $90,000. And I know I only have access to 60% of it right now. But let's just say I have access to 60%. Let's just say 60 grand. 60 out of 90. I think it's closer to like 75, 80%. But let's just say, what did I just say? 60 grand. Let's just say 60 grand. Now I have 60 grand. If I invest that, let's just say into a Charles Covey land deal, which is what I'm invested in right now. 3 years, that's $60,000. It pays 30% in the land deal. Now I'm getting 30% of 60,000. It's $20K. Now I have $20K coming in. Let's just say I keep that 90,000. I have $20K coming in every single year. Dude, that basically funds itself. Because at 30%, I get $20K every year. I'm only having to put $30K in. And the cool thing about the $30K is it's going down. So so after like 7 years, I have to pay $29,900. And then, the ninth year, I have to pay 29,000. I don't know, it just keeps going down. It goes all the way down to like 15,000 when I'm 80. But every dollar that, dude, it's just absolutely insane. And I wanted to put that into words right now because I'm thinking about it, and sometimes I get confused on it. Sometimes I'm like, man, is this really a good investment? Like, if I just put $2,500 into the stock market and it earned 10%, like, would that be better? It wouldn't. And the reason why is because that money, one, I have a whole life insurance policy. So a whole life insurance, that's good by itself. Let's just say, like, people need whole life insurance anyways for their family. Something goes wrong, they need whole life. Let's turn back this way. They need whole life insurance anyways for their family. But my whole life insurance, literally, I'm putting it into an account only to pull it right back out. I could do 100% of it within a few years. I don't know if it was the 3-year or the 10-year. I think it was the 10-year where it's $1 for $1. But even 60% right now, like, that's insane. And then what I can do is, in those years up until then, I can pull 60%. So I'm paying $30,000. I can pull 60% of that, which is $18,000, and I could be investing that. So $18,000, if I'm earning 30% on that $18,000, it's about $6,000. So now by paying that, I have access to $18K, and I made $6,000. Plus, I have a whole life insurance policy on top of that. Dude, it's just insane. So literally that first year, that $6,000 that I made, the second year, that $18,000 will make another $6,000, and it paid for that first year. Plus, the second year is going to make another $6,000, which probably even a little bit more. Dude, it's just, I don't know if this is confusing, but it makes sense in my head, because as it is, like that investment by itself is good enough. But then whenever you add on that you can pull it out 60%, literally your first year you have access to 60% of it, and then your third year you have access. Dude, it's just insane. It's great. It's a great policy. And what I'm thinking about now is maybe I stack a couple policies. So now I have a 25, and this is me thinking. I wasn't thinking about saying this. This is just me thinking on this walk. Now let's say I have a $2,500 policy that I have the ability to put up to. I have to put in 1,000, but I have the ability to put 2,500. I have access to 60% of that. So 60% of that was like 20. Wait, what did I say it was? 1,200, 1,500. 60% of 2,500 is 1,500. Now let's say I want another policy where I have the opportunity to put in 1,500, which is basically the maximum, or the what I have access to from the first policy. That's going to be the new maximum for the second policy. So now I have the first policy. The problem is I'm not going to be able to invest the 60% from the first policy, but I can invest, it would be 60% of the 60%, which would be 60% of 1,500, 600, 900. Now I could only invest 900. So that takes another 600 away. I don't know. I have to put that on paper. That's kind of like a matrix, kind of like going from one level to another level to another level on some Inception shit. Anyways, this policy, absolutely phenomenal. It's going to change my family's life for generations. Like, literally, if I just keep paying that, my family's at least going to get $3 million. That's if I die today. They may get $8 million if I die in the future, if I die when I'm 80. That by itself is cool. On top of that, the whole time in between, I'm gonna have access to all the money that I'm paying in, and it's forcing me to save and invest that money. So if I literally just invested that money, I'm investing $30,000 every single year, because eventually, I think it's at 10 years, I'll have access to 100% of the money that I put in. So at 10 years, I've paid $300,000, and I'll have access to $300,000. But I was investing the money the whole time during that, so that $300,000 has turned into crazy, bro. Like, you're investing 30% and it's compounding annually, because those are the deals that I'm putting it into. It's life-changing shit. If you don't have a whole life insurance policy, look into it. I use Chris Gardner, Gardner. N-E-R. He's a G. Comment below, message me if you want to get plugged in with him. But like, there's a lot of the people that set these up and they set it up wrong. You want to make sure it's set up right. And Chris Gardner, he's the only dude I trust to do it. He was the dude that really like made it make sense for me. Like, a lot of people explained it and they were like, I was like, yeah, you know, I think it's good, but now I know it's good because of the way that I'm thinking about it and the way that he explained it. But man, that's life-changing shit right there.